Hi everyone, my name is Carie, and for those of you who don't know me, I have remitting relapsing multiple sclerosis that I was diagnosed with in May of 2008. However, I had started testing and trying to figure out what was wrong with me in May of 2006. No, that can't be right. May of 2005. I had just had a baby and in December of 2004 and was experiencing some different things that became scary to me having the baby, because I would drop things just without knowing that I was going to drop them. I cut myself a couple times and didn't realize I had cut myself. I noticed that my left side was numb and tingling, but I really thought maybe I had pinched a nerve in the delivery of the baby and that it would subside. But long and short of it, we tried many things from 2005 until 2008. We did some physical therapy. I did some just ignoring it and trying to do things on my own, trying to think that maybe it wasn't as bad. I went through periods of time just thinking I was crazy. There were just a lot of ups and downs in that time trying to figure out what was wrong, until finally the diagnosis was given to me in May of 2008. Like I said, it's relapsing and remitting MS. However, I don't know if I have transitioned now into the secondary progressive. We don't usually talk about the different stages of it and where I'm at. We usually talk about new meds if they're out there, or what I'm experiencing, if I'm having any more difficulty with something, or if something has gotten better. We talk about those things with the doctor. However, from the time I was diagnosed, I have not done any meds, or had not done any meds, until July 4th of this year, 2014. We had been following and watching the Tecfidera drug, and had seen lots of good things with it. It has minimal side effects. So many things like that were of interest to me, because my philosophy has always been, I am not willing to trade one organ for another. I want my body parts. They're not just parts as parts to me. They are important, and every one of them plays a key function in my body. Anyways, not only that, but I didn't want to lose who I was in this disease, meaning that I wanted to have full control, or as much as I could, of myself. I would much rather be sick knowing that it's all me and every part of me, than to be sick on something in my body that I'm not exactly sure what it's doing to me. However, after much prayer and talking and watching and many other things, I decided to start Tecfidera in July. July the 4th is when it actually got delivered to me. I had been in to see my neurologist in May, and we had discussed it, got me all pre-approved and all that kind of stuff and everything. However, with all of whatever the problems were, it took until July 4th for it to actually be completely resolved and it delivered to my door. So I got it, I started it just as it was prescribed. The first couple weeks I was fine. By the third week, I noticed something different, but I couldn't really tell you what it was. I just didn't feel right. And probably about the fourth day into it, I became so violently sick, I thought I was going to die. And I literally wanted to. I prayed and asked God to just take me home, because I was in so much pain. After 3 days of that, I called the neurologist, because all I could think was it was that pill, and so we decided to stop the dose that I was on and go back to a lower dose and sort of build up again. So I agreed to do that, thinking that, you know, there was a small percentage of people who had experienced this, and that for whatever reason I fell into that small percentage, and I was willing to continue on. Well, a month went by, and I didn't hear anything from anybody, other than people telling me that they were working on it or whatever. And during that time, a friend of mine, Lisa, had let me know about the Wahls Protocol and asked me if I had ever heard of Dr. Terry Wahls and told me I should see these videos, and so I did, and I just couldn't get enough of the videos. I watched it several times. The first one where she was being interviewed by a guy with a health thing or something, and she was telling all about, you know, hers being reversed, and then I read several testimonials from other people and watched people's testimonials on YouTube. I just have done a lot of things since that, and that's been 2 weeks now that I've been fully engaged in looking into this and checking it out. And I decided that I was going to do this because there just was so much involved with it that I agreed with, that I was at least going to give it a try. What's strange to me is I have been on several parts of this protocol without putting it all together, combining it and doing it all, and making sure that that I got everything that I needed. And even for a while I became a vegan because I was seeing a doctor who suggested that, and I did that with no problem. I was able to give things up because I've always told my doctor, what's funny is I've always told her if she could tell me that I could eat 6 beets and 4 radishes every day and I would be healed, I could do that. I could make myself do that to be well. And but when I was a vegan, I wasn't eating a lot of things, but I wasn't really eating the things I needed to be eating either. And one thing that I've discovered is I can call myself a vegan or a vegetarian or whatever it is, but if all I eat is 1 leaf of lettuce every day, yeah, I'm eating vegetables only, but I'm not even being healthy. And so everything I read, I just couldn't get enough. It just made sense, and it was very interesting to me. Now, I will say that I have just finished both of the books. And am going to start the protocol on Monday morning. Went and bought stuff for it today so that I would have everything I need to get started. But for those of you who looking into it, I would suggest that you buy the Wahls Protocol book first before you buy the Minding My Mitochondria, which both of them are important, and they both have recipes and things in them that are different. The Wahls Protocol book will actually give you what you need to get started, where the other one gives you all of it, but it doesn't exactly tell you how to get it going. And so that kind of threw me off a little bit because I got the other first, then I had to wait for the Wahls Protocol to come so that I could find out exactly how to do what I needed to do. However, it makes so much sense. Now, that being said, I wanted to do a video because, like I said, I watched lots of testimonials and things, and those were really good, and I thank everybody for taking the time to do that and everything. My thing, though, is that I'm skeptical, and I want to see how bad somebody was and now how good they are. And I know that there are other people like that out there, and so I thought I would make a video before I started of what I look like and some of the difficulties that I have or things that I am challenged with, so that you too could see my progress as I embark in this. So I want to show you how I walk right now. I have been affected greatly on my left side. That was kind of where it started. And I have balance issues. I also, when I first stand up, my family calls me a bobblehead, which is fine. We joke about a lot of things with it now that I'm very insensitive to what can be said, because it is funny, you know? I mean, and if you can't laugh at yourself, I think you are already halfway defeated. So anyways, that's part of it when I stand up. Now when I walk, my left leg drags a little bit. And I can't walk really, really fast because I don't have the balance. The other thing is, I should have put my shoes on because the cold air from the air conditioning kills my feet. It just feels like the cold is shooting straight up the bottom of my legs all the way to about my knees. So my legs are cold all the time. And so I usually sit on a heating pad, or I stay covered in a heating blanket year round. I can't get warm enough anymore. I used to be able to do things to make myself warm up, but they don't work anymore, such as a hot bath, which drains every bit of energy that I have, so it takes everything I have to try to get in and out of the bathtub. When I also struggle with getting dressed because my one leg doesn't stay up when I lift it, and it's hard to pick it up any higher than that to try to get my pants and things on. Hooking a bra is really, really hard. Just the everyday things that we don't think about that are now missing. My left hand, like I said, my left side is the one mostly affected, and you can see in my left eye it droops a little bit, but also this is the side when you're driving that you use at the bank, you use when you drive through places. It's the most used side, and that becomes difficult too. Trying to reach out and grab something, I usually reach over with my right hand because it's steady. Because if I use my left hand, I just kind of wanted to show you. First of all, it doesn't always go where I want it to go. So like if I wanted to grab a drink, if it's on the floor and I went to grab it with my left hand, I can, but my hand kind of shakes and everything, and I'm afraid of spilling it, so I have to be careful. If I hold it too long, my hand begins to shake, and it just gets so heavy, I just feel like I'm lifting a barbell or something, and so I usually relieve it with the other hand. The other thing, my one daughter, I have 6 girls, and one of my daughters, who's 9, I homeschool her, and so we try to get physical activity and do things, and so I try to do things back and forth with her, and just the things that you don't think about, trying to play 2-square one-handed, or not to be able to kick a ball, or even to chase her. You know, those types of things are the things that I no longer can do, and I'm hoping to be able to do again. I have some of the things that I noticed other people had mentioned was optic neuritis, and I have had that. My left eye being more severe than the right eye. However, it really doesn't get in the way of anything. I don't like to drive a lot anymore because I just feel like I don't see as well. When I'm driving down the road and people wave at me, I don't see them in their car waving at me. I can see the big car, but I can't see the people in them. And so that's kind of a joke around here too. Anyways, I just kind of wanted to introduce myself to you through this video and do sort of a follow-up so that you could see my progress. I intend to do one at the end of the week after I've been on the diet for a week, or not diet, but protocol or lifestyle. And then maybe in a month, and then we'll see from there how often we do this. However, I said however 1,000 times in this, I know, but anyways, it was great getting this out there, and hope to see you as a follower and maybe meet some of you, and I hope that if you embark on this with me, we are all successful. Have a great day.